Welcome back, Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy, and today I have for you the Civivi Bo. This is a Brad Pinkerton design and comes in at $66 in this G10 variation. They did a little bit more of a premium variation with carbon fiber, and I think it was $70 something. But let's get the specs out of the way so you can have an idea of the size of this knife. You have a total length of 6.68 inches. Blade length of 2.92 inches, so it's going to be legal in a lot of areas that have 3 and under blade laws. You have a grip area from right behind the flipper tab to the back of the scales of 3.3 inches. You have a very thin handle scale thickness of 0.43 inches and also a thin closed width in the pocket of 0.83 inches. Staying on that thin theme, you have a thin blade stock of 0.09, just like a Benchmade bug out there. And the behind the edge thickness on my particular knife at the skinniest portion is 10 thousandths, sharpened at 22 degrees per side. All right, why don't we test out this bow real quick and see how well it does. All right, we're gonna do some cardboard cutting. This is the factory edge. Nice and sharp. All right, this thing sliced outstanding. Ooh, that blade's hot. Outstanding. This thing is super slicer. Oop. He doing this behind the camera. Wipe this blade off too. Okay, yeah, just got some sticky stuff on it. Good to go. All right, we're gonna test the ergos and see how well the edge is still biting on this pine. 2x4, start out light, but then increase pressure. Just because it bites into the wood so well. Excellent slicing capabilities of this knife. It is a very thin scale and is contoured, so making those powerful cuts is kind of difficult without the handle wanting to kind of turn. But I don't think you'd buy this knife for that reason. I think it was doing great so far. All right, being this is a smaller knife, I don't know how many cuts we're gonna make, but this is a 1/2 inch twisted sisal rope. Alrighty, we did 30 cuts. This is a nice and thin portion of this knife. It was breezing through it. My hand's just a little tired from doing 4 other knives before this. Still has a really nice edge up there. Now we're gonna cut up several different types of material. First, this seat belt material. Wow. This front portion right here is so nice and thin. It just breezes through all the material. God, this is definitely gonna be one that I'm gonna enjoy. Let's see how that front's holding up. Still good. Very nice. Alrighty, I hope y'all enjoyed that cutting footage. I sure enjoyed making it for y'all. Let's take a closer look at this blade. You have a nice drop point blade here. Comes with a black washed finish. Not exactly sure what they use here. I think I've heard PVD, I'm not sure. Very smooth finish though to the touch. Full flat grind, allowing this to come down to a nice and thin edge right here, and it showed in all the cutting that I did. Your blade steel is Nitro-V, which is a stainless steel, and it's a good one, especially in a budget format. It's kind of similar to ABL in edge retention, just like ABL takes a screaming sharp edge, and also having that same toughness. So it's a nice balanced steel of, you got good toughness and pretty good edge retention. I know I enjoy using it and sharpening it up. It's wicked. It grabs that skin so well once it comes out off the sharpener. For the blade being as small as it is, I thought it was going to struggle a little bit, but it performed just fine. It was zipping through the material, especially up here when I was doing those cuts into the rope and stuff. It felt like hot knife through butter. You have a very nice needle-like point for piercing and doing drag cuts like that. It had no problem with the thick leather that I was cutting with this. You're just not going to want to have that tip into something and move it over you might snap it off. They executed the sharpening choil nicely. The plunge grind's back here, so you got a little bit of sharpening before you will widen that bevel up any. You have the Brad Zinker logo right here. I love his designs. They're usually simple and well executed EDC knives. You do have small row of jimping right here that does grab the thumb good, but it's too far back with it being such a smaller knife. My thumb overshoots that jimping pretty much every time, which I don't think it's a big deal. You have a guard down here that locks you in, and you have a nice flat up top, so I never saw a problem with it. All right, let's close it up. The action on this knife is nice and snappy. It's riding on ceramic bearings and a ceramic detent. It comes out with authority. It's not like a real drop shutter because the blade is just too light for that. You have a nice minimal flipper tab that has some well executed fine jimping that really grabs onto that finger. It doesn't tear up the finger, but you can light switch it. And then as you can see, you have that little flat portion with some jimping right there. You can push button it as well. They both come out about equally the same. You close it up. The scales, you have contoured, smooth G10 scales. They come in several different variations. You get in this natural G10, black, purple. You can also get in green micarta, and like I said before, you can get a more premium version with carbon fiber that has like blue accents in it and red accents, either one of those two. You have the Civivi logo right here that's countersunk, and your two body screws are also countersunk in there. Nice and crisp T8 screws throughout, except for the pocket clip. The pocket clip is T6. We'll get back to the pocket clip in just a second. Overall, the ergos were good. However, doing prolonged cutting, you will start to notice some fatigue in the hand and your forearms, just because you have contoured scales and it's very thin in all dimensions. So you're having to really hold on to that scale so it doesn't come out of the hand. It was comfortable But once I, after I'd been doing a bunch of cutting and then it got to the wood, my forearm started cramping up a little bit. And I just know that I was trying to keep it from moving. You could also stabilize it up here in that saber grip, and it helps out a good bit. All right, let's flip it back over. Talk about that pocket clip. It is tip up, right hand carry only, deep carry. Let's check it out in the pocket. You got that nice ramp up, even though it does kind of curl back some. It ramps up high enough. I didn't feel it in the hand in any of the cutting, and pretty much disappears in the pocket. That's all you have left. It hugs that pocket, and that minimal flipper tab stays out of your way. I forgot the knife was in the pocket pretty much every time I carried it because it's so lightweight and so in such a minimal footprint in the pocket. All right, let's check the lockup. Your lockup sitting at around, I'd say about 40%. It's solid, no up and down, no side to side. I could flex some side to side just because of how small everything is. You got, your liners aren't super thick. It's not made to be like a hard use knife or anything, just some lightweight EDC task. Your stainless steel liners have been blackened as well. And as you can see, you got some heavy skeletonization in there to reduce the weight of this knife. Let's check out the weight. This thing is literally a featherweight. First in grams, 60 grams, and 2.13 ounces. Yep, that's light. All right, let's do some quick size comparisons. First with the Sin-Cut Scepter. The Scepter is a little bit longer. As you can see right there, you got similar handle lengths, or similar feel and hand at least, and one that looks a lot like the Bo and same designer is the Boker FR, and it's a little bit longer than the FR, as you can see here, but you have about the same grip area in these two knives. The Bo does feel better in the hand than the FR, even though you have the extra thickness in the FR. You have the Ontario Rat Model 2. The Rat 2 is a little bit longer. And the Reich P662 is very, very close to the same length, if not identical. Overall, I think this knife is an exceptional value for what you're getting. It's a super slicey blade, lightweight, low profile. Has excellent action, performed outstanding. It outperformed my Boker FR in pretty much every category, even how well it sliced and how well the edge lasted. This one's an S35VN. It just doesn't have the best heat treat on this one. This knife outperformed this one even after I sharpened this one. So overall, I think for $66, I think it's a no-brainer if you like smaller knives and you want a nice discreet carry knife. I think it looks nice, and like I said, you can even upgrade it with a different type of material, the carbon fiber. So there you go. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.